Hi everyone, I'm going to review the Row buckle sandals. They are part of Spring 24 and they were supposed to be part of my pre-order. I don't know what happened, but for some reason my pre-order for spring got lost in the system, or I didn't check out properly. Anyway, I had ordered the Hugo slide and the buckle sandals and a bunch of things, and none of it really got processed. So I did order them though to try them, and so I have all the information, and if you'll notice I don't have them here, it's because I sent them back, not because they're not a great sandal, but I'll get to why I sent them back in a moment. But first, my outfit. I'm wearing the Luca shirt by the Row, and it is the softest silk that you can possibly imagine. It's like one of those silks where if you have even just a little bit of like a dry hand or a hangnail, your hand feels like sandpaper against it because it's so soft, buttery soft, and it's in that gray striped color. I think it's like a gray tone. Anyway, it's really beautiful, and I took an extra small, very oversized, really easy to tuck. Get a lot of questions on how to tuck a shirt, and it really depends on the fabrication, and I'll probably do a video on that, but this is just super easy to tuck. I don't even think about it. And I'm wearing my old Andreas Row trousers, and I don't think they're available now, but I covered it in the Row capsule wardrobe video. They're kind of like the gala pants, but they hold their shape, and that's what I prefer in a gala type pull-on pant. So it's the Andreas, and then I'm wearing my, not that you can see, I think, but my cashmere fairy slippers, because it's they're so soft and they're just so comfortable. I think these slippers are, I think you can maybe find them on the Real sometimes. I saw a couple pop up last week. Anyways, and then in my ears, very exciting, Lisa Eisner for the Row. I did a short reel on them. I'm wearing the twisted sister earrings in one ear, and if those of you from the 80s know how cool that name is, and then the beaded one in the other one. I like the asymmetry, the way they've shown it. I've always loved asymmetry. The buckle sandals, the style, they're a crisscross strap in the front. They have an adjustable side buckle closure. The buckle is gold and silver. It curves up on the edges, and this is where we're gonna have to be careful about what size we get. And it's got a raised piece near the toe, which is similar to what Birkenstocks do, and I don't find that comfortable for my feet, but these shoes seemed relatively comfortable. Weight-wise, they look like a heavy shoe, but they're not that heavy. They have some weight, but it's not gonna bother you. The sole is rubber and has a bit of tread. And in terms of sizing, I found them very true. When I was in LA, I tried them on in the plain leather in a size 36. I'm normally a 6.5. They were okay, but my foot was sitting right at the back where that curve was. Almost like if I started walking in them, it might slip and sit on top of that piece. You don't want that. Your foot should sit in the center of the shoe. This is why I would suggest taking your true size. I've shown it here with a sock because I always feel like, well, we want the option to wear it with a sock, so what does it look like in our true size with a thin sock? And this is what it looks like. And I have to say, in the short time that I had them, they were really, really comfortable. So I don't think you're gonna have to worry, especially if you wear a sock. The only friction I felt was when I was wearing it without the sock. The side buckle was hitting my ankle bone just a little bit. That, it would seem to be dependent on where I had adjusted it, so which hole I used. I think that's gonna give over time, and I've found these little padded stickers that I sometimes use on the inside of that buckle area, which prevents the bones from blistering with the friction over time. So I've used them in some of my shoes. So you could try that, pad it a bit, but I don't know that for most of you, you're gonna need it. And in terms of offerings, they have it in the plain black leather. They also have it in a pony hair. They have an alligator green version, which is just so pretty, but it's only available in the boutiques, and I think there's already a wait list. Then on the site, I saw them in a woven dark green. I wish I had seen that one earlier, because I actually think I would have purchased that pair. I ordered the pony hair from Matches, and just a word on Matches. As many of you know, they're in administration, bankruptcy, which is so, so sad. They were one of my favorite retailers long before, and then I've partnered with them as well. I really hope somebody can save the Ray arm of Matches, because they had great clothing and great prices. So they have since filed, and people were nervous about placing orders because I had heard at the very beginning when they first announced it, there were problems with orders and people were not getting what they ordered, like incorrect sizing, and then there was no one answering phones, so there was no solution. There was nobody there to help rectify that problem. But I placed the order and it went through smoothly, and I even returned it, and the refund came just almost in the same amount of days that it took before. So if you can't get your true size, I would say go up a half size and then wear a thicker sock with it. The reason I sent them back. So first of all, the reason I chose the pony hair is because I wanted a really rich black. And I find that unless you do a suede or a pony hair, you can't get a really, really rich black. And while the two are harder to maintain, that's the look I wanted. But when I got them and I tried them, I looked and I was styling them and I went, wait, I know this. This is exactly like the hook and loop. And I know you're thinking, what? Hook and loop has that front strap, this has a crisscross. Yes, I know, but that's not what I mean. So what I did was I put the hook and loop on with the sock and I did the same walk and I wore the same skirt, which is pretty much how I'd be wearing them. And they were really similar. And in fact, I preferred the look of the hook and loop better. The hook and loop is more casual. I reviewed it on my channel. If you're interested, there's a review. It's more casual for sure with the Velcro and this general style of it. It's not as elevated, but somehow it still works. And you don't really notice that it's not as elevated if you're wearing the right outfit with it. So if you're wearing a pretty belt and a nice pair of shoes and you put those sandals there and it's the rest of you's dolled up, you can get away with it. So then the style felt redundant. And for $12.90 US, which is what the plain leather pair is, I think the pony hair is $13.90, and I believe the woven version is like $15.90, and then the alligator is much more. I think that I just couldn't justify buying the buckle as much as I wanted it, and I still feel like at some point I might get them if they go on sale, if I find them pre-owned someday down the road. But the crisscross made my toes look longer, and in the hook and loop I didn't feel that, and so I think I still prefer the hook and loop sandals. What would be great is if they reissued the hook and loop and offered them in suede and offered them in pony hair. Oh, that would be great. So maybe I'll like put a bug in their ear about that. But anyways, I think I've covered everything you need to know about this shoe. If you missed out on the hook and loop sandal, I'm gonna say get the buckle sandals. They kind of remind me of like old Marnie and Phoebe for Celine. They have that look to them. They're just, I don't know, they just go with everything. If you are a row gal or guy and you have a lot of row in your closet, these are a really good pair of walking shoes. Like, they're functional and they're cool. That's the other thing, is that I think they're gonna be very comfortable. That is your row buckle sandal review.